All right, let me find this live stream and then we can start. Now I kind of start stream late at night, but then we can start because this is the only time I actually have time to do this. So yes. So we're going to use the 3-4 now. I think the 3-4 for beginner players is actually harder for them to actually invade than the 4-4 because the 4-4 has a 3-3 invade, whereas the 3-4 doesn't have a direct invade. I used to use this all the time. It's actually not a bad start. Not really a bad start at all. And this is the Joseki I would usually do, but I wouldn't block on that side. If you're making the Moyo, you would block on the other side. That doesn't make any sense. You can't let me Hane this. When you're playing this Joseki, you're more or less... So, here's the thing. When you're playing this particular Joseki, you're more or less trying to... when you're playing that Joseki, you're definitely more or less trying to... Okay, sure. You are definitely more or less trying to get influence on one side or the other. You're not really trying for this territory. You're like... Right now, what he's doing is he is kind of missing the whole point of these Josekis and how this trade actually works. Like, there's not much territory right here, and you can't really let me get this Hane. And you just let me have another Sente, so I'm actually going to get to fix my corner. Yeah, this isn't going to work. I'm just going to secure the corner. He's going to try to attack me. But there's like a pretty big problem with actually trying to attack me. Just going to fix this thing on the bottom here. That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go down. What? Yeah, there we go. I think you're trying to get this, but that is not solidified territory at all. I'm actually going to jump up here. And then I'm going to try invading down here and see what he does. That's not a legit invasion at all. Like, playing randomly all over doesn't really help you. Like, realistically, playing randomly all over does not actually help you all that much. Like, here, it's not really going to work for you, because I'm just going to do this. No, I'm not going to do that, but... Yeah... There's definite problems with like playing like this. I don't... Okay, yeah, playing like this doesn't really work, especially against someone that's a lot stronger. And the thing is, like, your group here is pretty much dead. So it doesn't... Well, I guess it's sort of dead, I guess. Not really dead. I don't know. It's Now it's dead. So this is like this is basically reflexive playing by both people, and reflexive playing heavily favors the stronger player. Like reflexive playing heavily favors the stronger player. Because obviously, if you're a stronger player, your instincts are just a lot better. It's actually not bad. Like, if you're the stronger player, your instincts are just a lot better, and you're going to be able to play a lot better reflexively than someone who is. You're going to be able to play a lot better than someone who is not a reflex, like who is a lot weaker. But look, you can't just randomly play and expect to beat me. Like, when you play against a stronger player, you do actually have to sit down and think. I will be playing a game after this. This game was very fast. This game was actually very fast. I mean, this is alive. I'm just trying to... I'm more or less just trying to settle this piece, so... I should have done that, but this is fine. This is perfectly fine. It's good to actually play... It's actually good to play reflexive games every once in a while. I don't even know how to... I don't think I need to respond to this. It is good to actually play reflexive games every once in a while. But you should actually slow down sometimes and actually play the game. You should definitely slow down and play the game sometimes. Because if you don't, it's hard to improve based solely on reflexive games. Like, that doesn't make sense. I'm just going to kill this. You can't kill me in here, so... You do need to slow down and think about what you're doing sometimes. Oh, wait. That was bad by me. Never mind. Never mind. That was actually a really bad play by me, because I'm playing too fast as well. I'm playing way too fast. Actually, that's not bad. This might actually look like a crap move, but it's
challenge received.
So it's so I can get this Atari, and I can connect this. So that's actually not a bad move. Like, you do use these moves you do actually use some of these moves at certain increments, to actually, yeah, you do use certain moves at certain increments. That's actually Sente right there, so he should actually play that. I'll accept the game after I review... Okay, that's not going to work because this is actually alive. Even if that... Yeah, I'm just going to do this. Fine, I'll let him have this territory. This is why reflexive games don't work against better players. Because I mean, them being a lot stronger than you are, them just being a lot stronger than you are means they're just gonna have better reflexes than you. So like, generally, like the shorter the time period, the more it favors the stronger player. The shorter time you have in a game, the more it actually favors the stronger player. I don't even know what that does. I don't think that does anything. I mean, even that doesn't make you alive. I can just connect this. Don't think that's the right way to live this. Oh, you should have just went down here. He was alive if he actually went down there. This is all dead now, though. You do have to realize that since this is... I don't have to answer that. I'm going to just to make sure nothing happens here. Or that... I should always play down here. This is much bigger. Oh, that's definitely a wrong move. He's going to end up killing this as well. So this is now dead. I think like stuff like this, you just basically get better after practice, more or less. You essentially just get better after practice. And you just recognize like which stuff is more important and which stuff is not. All players, even the best ones, will make mistakes. In all players, even the best players, will make a lot of mistakes. And when playing extremely fast like this. But the thing is, like stronger players, he didn't need to do that. Stronger players will make less mistakes than weaker players in these games. Because we're more used to what shapes are actually alive and what shapes are actually dead. I should have... Actually, no, this is dead, so it doesn't really matter.
Pass. Remove the dead stones.
I don't think he actually made all these actual mistakes. So I don't actually think he made all these actual mistakes.
You have won.
What in game? But realistically, we'll just take a brief look at this game. This starting with just the Joseki. So the directional sense of it is that you want to you generally want to bring up your Moyo over here. I mean, this is why you played this stone in the first place. So like the old Joseki is actually this. I get the corner and you get this. You get the influence over here, and that's actually like that's actually one I played a lot. I think some people I do think like some people play like this, but I personally don't think this is a good idea because you can actually just break here. So generally, like if you play like this, I mean it's pretty even. And then you can probably try the same thing on the other side. And then it just depends like how well you can actually use your Moyo, right? So this isn't like a big mistake. This isn't a big mistake, but blocking over here kind of like destroys that chance. And obviously this is the wrong move because you have to extend here. You cannot let someone Hane that. You absolutely cannot let someone Hane that because that disrupts your entire Moyo thing. It's like going here and letting me Hane, that puts me ahead by 6 already because like your shape is really awful. Like trying to get this territory down here, there's not much territory down here, and giving this all up is bad. So that doesn't make any sense. I wasn't sure whether to do this or do this. I just went ahead and did that because I didn't really know what to do. I've never seen someone do this before. That's also bad because you didn't really need to do that. Then I'm just gonna go over here. So at this point, like I made a big gain already on this corner. I got the corner, he gets this, but there's no influence, and I've already, like, I've kind of taken away the purpose of this stone. The whole purpose of playing this is to actually get influence that way. So that's kind of pointless at this, I mean, it's not pointless, but it's not great. I do that, he does that, I pincer, and then he does that. I'm just going to do that to form my shape. That's generally a bad move. So there's plenty of ways. The easiest way to counter is by doing this. So that's actually the right move there. And then you would probably like pincer this. That's the right play here. This is definitely the wrong play. It makes me a lot stronger over here. And there's really no way you're going to kill my cornerstone. So I'm obviously just going to base my cornerstone. And your group's not all that strong. This makes it a lot stronger. And remember, like when he does this, don't connect here or connect here. The double tiger's mouth is always the best option because you already have an eye here and he can't Hane here. So just remember that. I mess up on this a lot, but the doubles tiger's mouth is actually the right play. Letting me get Zatari, probably not very good. And then connecting means I get Sente. I'm going to do this. And then I'm just going to pincer here. Like, you can overgreed and try to kill this stone, but it's actually pretty hard to kill this stone. He jumps up. I'm going to just go ahead and take the corner here. He does this. I'm going to jump here. He does this. I'm going to jump. He does that. And I'm just going to solidify the bottom. So I use chasing his group to solidify my bottom. I highly doubt he can actually kill my group here. There's a lot of ways to live this group. He does that. This is generally not a great invasion. It's an easy cover for me. You can live down here. That doesn't make any sense. You would definitely just do this at this point. You would definitely just do this at this point and just go ahead and live. Because essentially, like, this kind of messes up your entire invasion. Because this is now dead. That also doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to go over top. This really isn't that many points. And that, like, yes, it solidifies this corner, but it doesn't kill the invasion here. So I don't really see the point of that move. I'm just going to jump up more. He's going to do that. Like, playing sporadically, like, okay, if you've played the AI does play very, very sporadically. Indeed, the AI actually, like, plays extremely sporadically. But the AI has a reason to play extremely sporadically. The AI knows how to use all those sporadic moves to build influence and get territory. Like, this is, like, he's just randomly playing sporadically, which doesn't work. Like, when the AI, plays sporadically, it's actually all planned out from the beginning. When you do it, you have to have a plan as well, and this isn't really much of a plan. because this is just letting me invade all over. This literally is just letting me invade all over the place. Generally, this shape with one knight's move and one shoulder here, it's dead no matter how you put it. Then of course I'm going to do that because I want to solidify this group. Like this is actually okay because like just like this wasn't okay, this is actually okay because there's no more to be gained over here. So I'm just hitting on him, hitting this over here, and basically like getting eye space. If there was nothing over here, if I didn't have this over here, this would definitely not be okay. Because I have this shape already over here and he can't actually attack me, this is perfectly fine. So it depends on the situation. I mean, honestly, you definitely do this. Honestly, like, this is okay as well. He can actually successfully attack my group. But that's also a mistake. I feel like you should pretty much do that at this point. I almost feel like you have to do that at this point and try to like kill my group here, more or less. My group, your group isn't alive, obviously, but it's better off than mine right now. So basically like blocking and then letting me take the stone is no good because that makes my group settled. And you can't have my group settle at this point. That doesn't make any sense. That just makes sure this group in the corner is dead. Because the thing is, like, when the AI does this, it's usually trying to build influence over here and gain some kind of advantage. But when you do this, you basically are just killing your own group in the corner, and you gain 0 advantage out here. So that's the problem with this right now. Like, you're mimicking AI moves, but the AI has a purpose of making those moves. You really don't have a purpose of making your moves right now, and that's why you're slowly losing more and more. This is, and obviously, like when I do this is obviously Sente. You have to run out here. Otherwise, you don't have 2 eyes in here. So I'm going to just go ahead and close this. Obviously, I'm just going to go ahead and kill that. So, like, you're playing sporadic moves, but you're losing more and more groups in doing so. So, you kind of, like, when you want to play with the AI, if you want to play like the AI, you have to learn why the AI does certain moves. And if you can't understand that, don't try to play like the AI. I don't actually try to mimic the AI very much because I can't plan ahead like 30 steps like the AI can. In fact, no human player can. So it's good to learn some like basic stuff with the AI, but it's not very useful to try to mimic all the AI moves. I'm just going to try to settle this group now. There's not much territory here to be gained. So I'm just going to try to settle this group. That's actually a good move by him. I'm going to connect. And then I'm just going to do this. That kills the stone and pretty much settles me. So if you want to play, you would play here. Because if I connect this, you can actually get these two. If I connect here, obviously you just connect here. So this is an okay move, but Black should probably just play here. I would probably connect this, is my guess. I might actually do this, but since this is over here, I probably wouldn't. Yeah, so I just played here. That pretty much... I actually should have connected... this way, because that takes this move away. I forgot about that. So you gotta watch out for these small things. Like if I was playing an even game with someone of equal strength, either connecting this over connecting this would actually be a pretty big deal. So I do this, I do that. That doesn't really make any sense. You're basically just letting me settle and go back to this piece. So yeah, you did gain some settlement over here, but I mean, you were trying to attack my group and you didn't. And honestly, I should have just taken this. I 100% should have just taken that. That's a better move, but this isn't too bad. Let me take this, and then I'm going to come out here and just like break what's ever left of this. Let me do that. That's a wrong move by me. I should have come out. For sure. It doesn't really matter at this point. I just take, and then he protects. I'm just going to come up here just to make sure he can't really get this shape up here. He does that. I'm just going to connect. He does that. I don't have to answer at all, so I'm just going to come out here and break what's ever left of this. So he does that. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I don't know. You don't have to take this. Like I feel like that's probably the best move for him right now. So I'm going to do that. He does that. which actually lets me do that. That's actually a really big move. The Hane's worth probably at least 6 or 7 points. That come up. That doesn't make any sense. I was kind of like at a loss of how to answer this because like I don't think I need to answer this at all, and I don't. But I just went ahead and just got more points there. Does that. I come up. Do the peep. This is also a mistake by him, but compounded by a mistake by me. Realistically, I should have just killed this. End of story. He can't kill this group down here. And I just kill this. I get the points there. So I should have definitely done that. Yeah. So I made a mistake here. If I did this, he could obviously do this, and then just take these two. This is not that all that important to him because he can just Hane back here. So that's actually a mistake by me. I should have just like connected here, let him do this, and then just take these 4. So this is a mistake by me. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I messed up. And you might think like these are dead, right? But they're not actually dead. I could have just done this actually, and that's what I should have done. Because if he disconnects here, I can just play this, and if he goes here, I can just kill this. So I should have just done that. I didn't actually need to do this, and that's a mistake by me. That cost me a couple points. I didn't think I need to answer that. I'm just gonna connect. That's also not a good move. This is the better move. Easily the better move here. This territory down here is gonna be worth more than this whatever's up here. So that lets me give me some of the centes. That doesn't really make any sense. These are fine, just closing moves. And this is just me killing off the corner. That was dead anyways. You just go on the outside, and then once you go on the outside and fix everything, it's dead. It doesn't have 2 eyes. So that, I'm going to go here, here. I'm going to Atari this, and then connect this. So now this is all dead, because you can't make 2 eyes in here. So, like, you have to be aware of, like, if I disconnect your group, are you alive or not? And in this case, it's no, so he has to do this and then connect here. Then he does that. I'm going to answer. He does that. And then, obviously, this is just dead. So, the thing is, like, I actually made a pretty big mistake here. I did actually make a pretty big mistake here. I think I should have done this. Because in doing that, he can't live. But the thing is, like, since I do this, you can just go here and you're actually alive. I mean, you're still lost by like 100 points, but you should have done this so you're actually alive here. So he's trying to save everything. So, like, the thing is, like, sometimes you have to look at the situation. If the situation's not good, you cut your losses, and you cut your losses and you just live. Then I do this. Obviously, now he's done by... Now that's completely dead. I'm not going to answer that. I go here. There's a... Like, if all the liberties are taken, there's a problem here, so I just fixed that first. I didn't need to right now. And then this, and then this. So the easy answer is, like, you should always do that. There's 1 point here. As long as your group's connected, you just lose the 1 point. So doing this obviously lets me come down, and that's obviously a mistake. Your group's not alive if I do this. So the thing is, like, you need to block this. And, like, remember, like, it doesn't matter. If you block, you need to think of the trade-offs. Even if this group wasn't dead, like, if you take this, if you block this and take this, it's 1 point. If I do this is at least 4 or 5 points. So even if this group was alive, you would actually block here. That's just like that's kind of like the thinking process you have to have. This is pretty much all dead now. You could have done this to fight the Ko. And you don't really have to fight the Ko. Because you're alive here. So that is one way you can actually make this alive. It lets me break all your points, but that is actually alive. But once you actually connect this, let me connect this, this is all dead. So that's the end of the game. A lot of, like, fighting mistakes. Obviously, like, his reflexes aren't going to be as good as mine, just because of the difference in rank. but a lot of things for you to consider, like Endgame and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and accept this challenge.
Game started.
I'm going to go ahead and accept this challenge if you are still here. Hopefully you are still here. Not really sure if he's here, because it's been about half an hour. Alright, there we go. I'm going to go with a 4th restart again. I'm just trying out these starts. I'm a little bit tired right now. It is pretty late right now. Once again, generally the better move is to go out here. I almost want to do this, but I think this is a bad idea. I think this is a bad idea too, actually. No, why not? I'll just try it. I think this is a really bad idea, actually. I think I know how this turns out. It's not good. Yeah. Oh, that's not the way to, that's definitely not the right way to play this. This doesn't matter. You have to connect this. You 100% have to connect that. Because you don't have a ladder here, so this doesn't work for black at all. Making that Moyo again. We go ahead and do this first. Question is, are you willing to give this? Probably not, is my guess. Interesting, interesting. It's a fight, but I'll take it. It's a bad move. I actually have a lot of problems out here, and doing this means I can fix all my problems out back here. So I'm just gonna fix all my problems back here. First, it's actually really hard for him to kill my 3 stones. Because he's in a bit of trouble himself. And this just lets me force him really, really low. So like every move he actually makes is actually is actually very, very good for me. I should have actually done this. That was my mistake. Oh wait, I think that was a mistake as well. Pretty sure that was a mistake. Yeah, we're going to not make that mistake. That's also a mistake. You definitely need to cover the outside. I shouldn't have connected that. He should have taken Sente on that move because I can't kill him. And my group here would have been in real trouble if he did. That's making me like a straight wall there is a huge mistake. Yeah, the bottom is big, but letting me Hane, like, that's really not something you can do. This is not, you really can't let me Hane this. Given I probably shouldn't have done that, but. see, this is not worth it. He got the entire corner. Also, this isn't a good move. There's ways to counter this by attaching and stuff. He's giving up way too much. All he got was this corner. And his group weak here is still kind of weak-ish. I'm going to go ahead and do this, actually. This is bigger on this side. This essentially fixes this cut. It's the right move. Just gonna jump this right now. I am still pivoting on this bottom group here. I'm just going to make this attachment to see what he does. It's already a pretty big loss for him. So I'll take it. That's better. If you Ataris, I probably just won't answer. Kind of a funky way to this in the end may prove to not be worthwhile. It probably won't be worthwhile. Because I'm essentially just trading one for the other. It's okay for me. It's not great for me. Hey, wait. Oh, no, it's fine. You actually cannot do that. I don't need to answer that. It's an okay move. It's an okay thing, but I don't really need to answer that. Huh. Okay, might have miscalculated here. Definitely might have miscalculated this one. I don't think so, but maybe. I think I'm okay though. Yeah, I'm fine. Also, like, this didn't matter because I could always just do this. There's way bigger moves than that. I just kind of brain farted there. But I do get the Sente, so I guess it's okay. I think overall, like, this trade for this definitely did favor me, though. Because I also got this with it. So one thing about this is that I can actually connect here. And it would, okay, be fine because I have this move here. I think he forgot about that. I think he totally forgot about that. I can also play here, which is what I'm going to do, because I don't think it matters. So I'm going to play here. And I can just connect this way. Even if he kills those two, he's still dead. Oh, shoot. My mistake. My bad, my bad. Oh, he should have definitely played the Ko here. He definitely should have played the Ko here. 100% should have played the Ko. This Ko is very, very heavy for me, and it's very light for him. He 100% should have played the Ko there. That's a mistake. It's a huge mistake because this is like dead now.
You have won.
All right, so this is an obvious mistake here, but let's go back and review this game. Just a quick review. I'm going to sleep soon because I'm tired, but so this directional sense is correct. You have these three stones over here, so obviously you're going to block this way and try to build the moyo over here. However, generally you would want to play this because it's more solid for you. Sorry, it's more solid for you this way. So there's not as many breaks and cuts. You do give up a little bit of the corner, but it's worth it to get your moyo on top. Playing here, I do believe gives white an advantage. That's actually a really bad move. That's actually a really, really bad move. You should probably just connect. I would go here. Then you would get more out here. So when I was playing this, I was like, yeah, this is a bad move. I think I should just play here, actually. But I don't know like how confident I am about this. I'm not exactly sure what white plays here. Once black actually connects. I might just play the Hane. I think the Hane is fine because you can only do this. And then I would get Sente, and I think that's perfectly fine. But the thing is, like, this is actually not a good move for white. You played this. I should have done this. So that's how white should actually play. So like, essentially, like when you do this, I should definitely do this. When I did this, it was a big loss because you should obviously connect, and then I would actually get the gote here, and you would be pretty thick on the outside. So essentially, I did this, but that's a huge mistake because now like this is too apparent. This is Atari. So basically, when I do this sequence, the magic move is always to cut. Like this is the space that both of us are fighting for. I eventually played it because it's just too obvious now. And then I get this. So now you can see I jumped ahead by 11.6 just based on that series of moves. So this is basic Joseki. That's fine. I do this. That's kind of this move is okay, but there's so many holes here that it looks impressive, but it's really not that impressive. So I'm going to fly up here. You do this. This is not a good move. I mean, it forces me on a little corridor, and you always have like this move later. So that's actually kind of what I was afraid of. So that's fine. That's a big mistake. Because when you exchange this for this, you actually take away this move, which I actually don't have a good answer to, because I do have to connect here on this move. And then like, even like connecting here is sente for you. This is yeah, I mean, this is like, this move is very uncomfortable for me. So trading connecting here with me doing this is a pretty big loss for you. Do this. I'm gonna do that. That's actually, of course, I'm gonna do that. Hem you in. That's a big mistake by me. So this is a pretty good, but this is a big mistake by me. I think here you should probably just do this. I don't think, well, no, actually, no. No, you're not alive, so you're right. Never mind. I miscalculated that. My bad. So then you come down. I'm not going to answer that because if I do, this is sente and I just be dead. So obviously I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to do something out here. So I think that's probably not the right move, but that's also not the right move. This is definitely the right move here. Remember, like, if you're trying to build this out here, I mean, this would favor you anyways, and I'm still struggling to live in here. So yeah, I'm still like really, really struggling in here to live. So that's why. That's why like this block is so much better than this. I think you're trying to squeeze my eye space, but it doesn't matter. Like once I claw out here, once I do this, it's very hard for you. You do this. This is a very, very bad move. It's a horrible move because you might have had this sometime in the future, but see, like this, here's the thing. This stone doesn't gain you anything. It gains you absolutely nothing. But this stone actually gains me a lot. It makes me much, much more solid. So this was like, this move loses you a ton of points. And then going out here and letting me Hane, you cannot let me Hane this, because that means my head's stuck out. And once my head is stuck out, like pretty much like all your all the influence you've tried to get here is gone. You played a lot of moves for this influence, and now like all the influence is actually gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, do that. That's fine. It's not too bad. That's actually not a good move. There's like all kinds of attachments here that are problematic with this move. If I do this, obviously, you have that. So there's all kinds of problems with this move. I was playing this to see what you would actually do. Obviously, doing that is not the right thing. And then letting me come out here, that's just really bad. I mean, this would have been fine. This would have been actually a lot better. But letting me connect these two and completely break this, that's another big point loss for you, because it essentially like solves my problem with this group. And now your Moyo is completely broken, and like what was your strength is now like kind of like my strength. And then, like just basically I get the bottom territory as well. The invasion's fine. I pincer, you do that. I'm going to fly out here and try to attack this group. while attacking that group. So you do this. I'm gonna fly out. This is okay. I mean, it's kind of like if you realistically though, instead of doing this, like this would have just been better. I don't think I can actually kill this group. I think there's, I mean, like, I think people sometimes are afraid of moves like this, but there's so many problems with moves like this that it's just not. Actually, you can just stick out here. Because if I do this, you can just go ahead and yeah, it's dead, so it doesn't really matter. There's so many moves and so many problems with trying to attack this group right now. And like, you know, this is an eye right here for black too, so I think like this move is pretty important right now. Doing these just solves a couple of my problems. That's a pretty big move, and I was actually planning to make this move later. But no, I'm just going to try to get advantage from attacking this group. So here, that's okay. This is like this honestly is also not bad because that actually provide like just this plain cut would actually create a lot of problems. I would probably just go on the bottom and try to kill this group afterwards, but it's still a pretty hard kill. So he does that. This should definitely be either this or just pushing. I think this should be one of those two. It's much more aggressive. This is not bad, but I think those two are just better. I'm gonna do that. Just fix that. Then I'm gonna just play down here to see how you actually react. If you did this, I would have actually done this. And this is a pretty complex fighting sequence, I think. So there's not a great way to answer this. You do this, which I'm more than happy to just do this. Honestly, I probably should have done this. I probably should have just like not answered or done this. But I decided to be greedy, take the bottom. But that's fine. Also, I think this move is probably better. Because this move gives you the Atari on top, which is no good. That doesn't really make any sense. You either do this, or you just do this. Because this doesn't really fix you still leave an Atari right there, so it doesn't really make that much sense. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, do that, and then do that. Gonna come across. And of course, like this is basically trading one for the other. I think I'm slightly better off because of this. Because like I'm slightly better off on the trade. You could do this. I guess this doesn't really work for you. Well, yeah, it doesn't really work for you that well, I guess. But trading is okay. I think I come out a couple points ahead on the trade, though. Close off like that. You can't do that, obviously, because that's Sente. I'm just going to connect here. That's not that big. This is actually bigger than that. It's not bad, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. You're going to do this, this. Obviously, this is a miscalculation. This is. I think this sequence was pretty bad when you like followed through here. Like there's no need to do. There's actually no need to do this. This stone isn't very big, so letting me get that move is really bad for you. That I'm gonna just Hane first. Right now, yes, this is pretty big later, but right now there's bigger stuff. Just like connecting this is a lot bigger. So doing that gives me another Sente. Like in the closing game, you should always strive to get Sentes. This is not a must answer move. This is probably 5 or 6 points, but this is like 10. So obviously, like this move is worth more than this move. So like, I mean, like you have to count the points. Like if I Hane here, I gain like 1 point. You lose maybe 4. So this is like 5, 6 points. This is obvious like 8 points here plus possibly 2 more, 10. So this is going to be bigger than that. I'm going to do that. Just going to do this both ways. that was just me brain farting at this point. There's way bigger moves than that, but whatever. You do that, and I'm just going to take the Sente first, and of course come down here to reduce as much as possible. This is just a calculation error. So here, right? Yeah, you got to do this. So the way you decide to whether to fight this Ko or not is how much do you lose versus how much do I lose. If I win this Ko, I get like 4 or 5 points. If you win this Ko, you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like over 20 points. So you have to fight this Ko right now, especially if you're behind, which you are right now. So like you have to fight this Ko. That was like my mistake. So when you did this, I should have just connected, let you cut, because this is already alive, so it doesn't matter, and just do this. So that was a big, big mistake by me. That was actually a huge mistake by me. But yeah, you didn't take the Ko, so just like remember, like you have like when you fight a Ko, you got to remember like how much do you lose versus how much does the opponent lose. You don't lose very much. I lose a lot. Therefore, you fight the Ko. I think this is just me playing the ending game a little bit better. Obviously, this is a huge mistake. This you would have been fine if you just did this. Because if you do this now, like, oh, this is dead. So that's where all the games are. That's where the game was actually lost. Like the beginning sequence here started being really bad for you. Like this is an odd corner Joseki variation that you started with like Hane, and then like a bunch of like fighting move mistakes. So that's actually how that game actually was lost and how it was played. So that's going to be it for today. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will be back next time.